The treasurer. Having the treasurer available is so important. It is so important that if the treasurer can't be available, you probably want to change the date of your registration, because you want those people coming in and paying immediately. You don't want to put it off and say, oh, well, I guess you can pay that next month. They're already in the school. You want that money coming in and the finances taken care of. One other thing that we have laid out is what the kids will be learning and doing in the different grade levels. And so we have some brochures on that and for the school. So those are all up here. I think I'm going to get to that on another slide. Invite organizations. Your home and school. This is a great time for them to have a home and school sign and have a sign-up sheet for the different events that are going to be happening, where they, as parents are coming in for registration, they're excited about the year. This is the best time to get them to sign up for things, because later on in the year they might discover that they're tired. But right now they're excited and they're invested. So get them signed up, and that commitment will help your home and school all through the year. Pathfinders, adventurers, invite them, because we want to support them as well. If you're doing school shirts, one year we had the school shirts in all the different sizes that the kids could try on, so that we knew that we were ordering the correct size. Environment. Welcome at the door. Have someone who it's their job to welcome the families as they come in. Make sure that they're directed right where they need to go, because that gives me a level of safety when I feel like I know I'm in the right place and I know that I'm where I need to be. Signs. Have signs everywhere, even if they can just be the plain, like out by the textbooks, that say home and school, packets, treasurer. Having signs for all these different places just, again, provides that level of safety. Have water available, whether it's water bottles, whether it's the big containers of water. One thing that this was actually pretty fast to do, because Sherry, bless her heart, said, would you like that on sticker paper? Well, yes, because if this is on a sticker, it goes on so fast. We had always just taped it, because sticker paper, who had that? But Sherry did. Anyway, so I've learned sticker paper is fantastic for getting things done quickly. And it just adds that little punch to make people feel like, wow, I'm really being spoiled here, and it just looks so nice. Here is a snack, and it says we're on the trail to a great year at Niles Adventist School. So this just stuck onto a snack. And again, snacks are optional. You don't have to provide snacks. But you might have bored children and some goldfish or some sort of snack. Welcome to our school for goldfish. That is really good. And this just kind of ties in with what Sue was talking about. You can use little things like this as you're working with the community. If you go to Pinterest, you can find all kinds of different ideas of what to put on snacks. And so this one just happens to go with trail mix, but like the goldfish, welcome to our school, you can just find all kinds of ideas, and this is another good way to get your name out. Tables. Having tables set up so that people have a place to sit. If they're filling things out, they need a place to sit. If there are sign-up sheets, there needs to be a place where they can sign up for those. And this is a cloth tablecloth, which is beautiful, but you can also do the plastic tablecloths. It just adds that little bit that is more inviting, and it just makes everything look a little classier. Having pens available. Lots of pens available. Hand one with the packet. Have more on the tables. All of those things. Flowers. It adds that touch. Again, it's optional. The point is registration, but the more that you can make it inviting, the better people will think of your school. Things to consider. If they're bringing their children, there are going to be some bored children. So think about what you want the children doing and direct them towards that. This is not a time where if you don't have someone supervising that they can just go play in the gym. You don't want kids playing in the gym without supervision. If you want to provide a supervisor, you could do something like that. We will put out coloring sheets sometimes. Sometimes there will be a box of STEM type toys that they could play with in a particular area. So you can just kind of think what you would do with children that are waiting patiently or not so patiently for their parents. Wait time. I have seen lines for the treasurer that are pretty long. And so think about how wait time can best be dealt with so that parents aren't getting frustrated because they only allowed a half hour for registration and it's going to take longer than that. Having classrooms open and teachers, all teachers should be there, and you can invite people in to look at the classrooms. The kids especially, it's going to make them feel so much safer when they walk in on the first day, if they've been able to walk into their classroom and see, oh, this is what the classroom looks like. And you may not have everything all set up, but if you had enough set up to be able to say, this is where the kids will be sitting, and here, these are some of the things that we'll be doing, it just helps them all feel safe. You could have a school supply drawing where they fill out a little paper and you could draw it for different school supplies. Make connections. I had a parent, actually a family that came in just to see the school. They knew it was registration day and they wanted to see it, thinking maybe they would send their son in the next year or two. Well, I spent time talking to them because their son was the right age for my classroom, and by the time we finished talking, they were going out to register their son. So those connections are huge, and the more connections that you can make, the more positive ones that you can make there, help set it up for the beginning of the school year. And if things come up where you're needing to talk to parents, you've already made a positive connection with them. So that's really good. Things to consider: having a discounted registration fee if it's paid by a certain date. Giving out a scholarship at a baby dedication. We don't give a whole lot, but I think it might be $50 at each baby dedication for the first year that they enroll in the school. And it's just that little bit that says, we're interested in you, we would like you in our school, and it just is a nice thing. So those are just some of the things to consider as you're doing this. There are examples of, or will be examples of, supply lists up on Padlet. I think Alexandria was working on that, and I have some more. I have a few copies of these if you wanted a paper one. I have a few copies of the letter that I wrote. And again, it's not the end-all be-all, but it's just if you needed something to kind of get you started. All right, are there any questions about registration? All right, I'm actually really excited about this because, ladies back there, I think this is a perfect time to answer the question on parent-teacher conferences. So I'm going to start, but then I'm going to invite you to jump in, okay? So feel free to come on up whenever. If you have something that you want to share from up here, feel free to do that. Parent-teacher conferences. I remember talking to my mother-in-law, and I said, parent-teacher conferences are stressful, or can be, because you never know what parents are going to bring up, because sometimes you can feel a little bit blindsided. Okay, all right, I'm hearing that you're going to have a presentation on this, and so I don't want to get into her presentation. When we were looking, we didn't see it, and so we will let her do it. But my point here is, just like I didn't want to be blindsided at a parent-teacher conference, my mother-in-law said, as a parent, it was stressful to her because she wasn't sure if she was going to be blindsided. And so it really helped me understand that neither one wants to be blindsided. So that communication piece, keeping that going all quarter long so that when you get to the parent-teacher conferences, everyone can sit down and feel a little safer because you've already spent a lot of time talking. Was there anything, and so then that will be addressed more in another presentation. We are finished a little early, and so were there any other questions that we needed to?
I'm going to give a tip.
Yes.
On registration. With COVID, our school started making appointments for registration, and that was the best change we made to registration. Parents, yes, they're a half hour, but we know who is coming at what time, and so we are prepared ahead of time. So if I need to maybe extend a little bit, I've been actually emailing our families about registration on Sunday, everything they need to bring. They've had several reminders too to their appointment. So have them sign up for appointments. Google Forms is a great way to do that. They pick their time, have slots available, and then send reminder emails about what they need to bring or post it on your school social media page. Registrations this week, sign up for your appointment, give the link there, and then what they need to bring.
Sounds great. Appointments, it makes everyone's life easier unless they don't show up on time. But the reminders really, really help. All right, so I am thinking that maybe we would want to adjust our break and start the next presentation maybe a little bit earlier. Oh, yes.
I was going to add that some schools, they actually have a television in front where they present everything that happened last year from different classes, because a lot of parents, especially new ones,
yes,
they're visual. You know, they see things rather than reading. They rather see it than just a quick glance. You know, what happened last year. Many teachers have lots of pictures that they could always put there, make a picture montage or something.
Oh, that is wonderful, because especially seeing fun projects, seeing happy children, happy teachers will be the best PR for the school.